while yellow Tessures blows with the wind to sift the chaff of holy grain, and the chaff heaps grow wither and wither. Even so did the Achaeans, wise in the dust, with the horses' hosts raise the firmament of heaven, as their drivers turned them back to battle, and they bore them down with might upon the foe. Fierce Ares, the help the Trojans, covered them in a veil of darkness, and went about everywhere among them, inasmuch as Phoebus Apollo had told him when he saw Valus Athena leave the fray, he was to put courage in the hearts of the Trojans, for it was she who was helping Diamond. Then Apollo sent Aeneas forth from his rich sanctuary, and filled his heart with valor, whereon he took his place among his comrades, who were overjoyed at seeing him alive, sound and of good courage, but they could not ask him how it had all happened, for they were too busy with the turmoil raised by Ares and by strife, who raged insatiably in their midst. The two Ajaxes, Odysseus and Diomed, cheered the Danaans on, fearless of the fury and onset of the Trojans. They stood as still as clouds which the son of Cronos has spread upon the mountain tops, when there is no air, and fierce Boreas sleeps with other boisterous winds, whose shrill blasts scatter the clouds in all directions. Even so did the Danaans, and firm and unflinching against the Trojans, the son of Atreus went about among them and exhorted them. My friends, said he, put yourselves like brave men, and shun dishonor in one another's eyes amid the stress of the battle. They that shun dishonor more often live than get killed, but they that fly save neither life nor name. As he spoke, he hurled his spear and hit one of those who were in the front rank, the comrade of Aeneas, Decun, son of Argarus, whom the Trojans held in no less honor than the sons of Priam, for he was ever quick to place himself among the foremost. The spear of King Agamemnon struck his shield, and went right through it, for the shield stayed not. It drove through his belt into the lower part of his belly, and the armor rang rattling round him as he fell heavily to the ground. Then Aeneas killed two champions of the Danaans, Cretheon and Oroscophus. Their father was a rich man who lived in the strong city of Fair, and was descended from the river Alphus, whose broad stream flows through the land of the Philians. The river begat Orliscus, who ruled over much people, and was father to Diocles, who in his turn begat twin sons, Cretheon and Oroscophus, well skilled in all the arts of war. These, when they grew up, went to Ilium, and with Argive fleet in the cause of Menelaus and Agamemnon's sons of Atreus. There they both of them fell, as two lions whom their dam was reared in the depths of some mountain forest to plunder homesteads, and carry off sheep and cattle till they got killed by the hand of man. So were these two vanquished by Aeneas, and fell like high pine trees to the ground. Brave Menelaus pitied them in their fare, and made his way to the front, clad in gleaming bronze and brandishing his spear, for Ares ate him on to do so with intent that he should be killed by Aeneas. By Antiphus, the son of Nestor, saw him and sprang forward, fearing that the king might come to harm and thus bring all their labor to nothing. When therefore Aeneas and Menelaus were setting their hands and spears against one another, eager to do battle, Antiphus placed himself by the side of Menelaus. Aeneas, the more fair he was, drew back on seeing the two heroes side by side in front of him. So they drew the bodies of Cretheon and Orosclus, the ranks of the Achaeans, and committed the two poor fellows into the hands of their comrades. They then turned back and fought in the front ranks. They killed Pylamenes, Ares, leader of the Paphlagoian warriors. Menelaus struck him on the collarbone as he was standing on his chariot, while Antiphus hit his charioteer and squire Maidon, the son of Asphenius, who was turning his horses in flight. He hit him with a stone upon the elbow, and the reins, enriched with white ivory, fell from his hands into the dust. Antiphus rushed towards him and struck him on the temples with his sword, whereon he fell head first from the chariot to the ground. There he stood for a while his head and shoulders buried deep in the dust, for he had fallen on sandy soil, till his horses kicked him and laid him flat on the ground. As Antiphus lashed them and drove them off to the host of the Achaeans, but Hector marched them from across the ranks, and allowed the cry or rush towards them, followed by the strong battalions of the Trojans. Ares and dread Enyo led them on. She crowded with ruthless turmoil of battle, while Ares wielded a monstrous spear, and went about now in front of Hector, and now behind him. Diomed shook with passion as he saw them, as men crossing a wide plain. He is dismayed to find himself on the brink of some great river rolling swiftly to the sea. He sees its boiling waters, and starts back in fear. Even so did son of Tydeus give ground, and then he said to his men, my friends, how can we wonder what Hector wields the spear so well? Some god is ever by his side to protect him, and now Ares is with him in the likeness of mortal man. Keep your faces therefore towards the Trojans, but give ground backwards, for we dare not fight with gods. As he spoke, the Trojans drew close up, and Hector killed two men, both in one chariot, Menethesius and Antileus, heroes well versed in war. Ajax, the son of Telamon, pitied them in their fall. He came close up and hurled his spear, hitting Amphius, the son of Celeus, a man of great wealth, who lived in Hesius, and owned much corn-growing land, but his lot had led him to come to the aid of Priam and his sons. Ajax struck him in the belt, and spear pierced the lower part of his belly, and he fell heavily to the ground. Then Ajax ran towards him to strip him off of his armor, but the Trojans rained spears upon him, many of which fell upon his shield. He planted his heel upon the body, and drew out his spear by the darts, pressed so heavily upon him that he could not strip the goodly armor from his shoulders. Trojans, chieftains, moreover many and valiant, came about him with their spears, so that he dared not stay. Great, brave, and valiant though he was, they drove him from them, and he was beaten back. Thus then did the battle rage between them. Presently the strong hand of fate impelled Telepolemus, the son of Hercules, a man both brave and of great stature, with knight Sarpedon. So the two son and grandson of great Zeus drew near to one another, and Telepolemus spoke first. Sarpedon said he, Chancellor of the Lycians, why should you come skulking here? Who you are, a man of peace, they lie, who call you son of aegis bearing Zeus, for you my own brave and lion-hearted father, who come here for the house of the Laomedion. And though he had 6 ships only, and few men to follow him, sights the city of Ilium, and made a wilderness of her highways, you are a coward, and your people are falling from you. For all your strength and all your coming from Lycia, you will be no help to the Trojans, but will pass the gates of Hades vanquished by my hand. And Sarpedon, captain of the Lycians, answered Telepolemus, your father after Ilium by reason of Laomedion's folly, and refusing payment to one who had served him well. He would not give you, your father, the horses which he had come so far to fetch. As for yourself, you shall meet to death by my spear. You shall yield glory to myself and your soul to Hades of noble steeds. Thus spoke Sarpedon, and Telepolemus raised the spear. They threw at the same moment, and Sarpedon struck his foe in the middle of his throat. The spear went right through, and the darkness of death fell upon his eyes. Telepolemus' spear struck Sarpedon on the left thigh, such force that it tore through the flesh and grazed the bone. But his father, as he had warded off destruction from him, his comrades bore Sarpedon out of the fight in great pain by the weight of the spear that was dragging from his wound. They were in such haste and stress as they bore him, that no one thought of drawing the spear from his thigh, so as to let him walk uprightly. Meanwhile the Achaeans carried off the body of Telepolemus, whereon Odysseus was moved to pity, and panted for the fray as he beheld them. He doubted whether to pursue the son of Zeus, or to make slaughter of the Lycian rank and file. It was not decreed, however, that he should